As we take a look at Reddit, we see here, because this is where all the searches are on the Reddit, and all the pedophiles very much fluctuating on Reddit.
Welcome back to Soulful Academics, where I teach you guys how to budget, save, and invest. Go to Soulful Academics to free up debt so you can start building generational wealth. Make sure you go to Soulful Academics, cop the latest Bitcoin to the Moon t-shirts. Let's get straight into the video. As we look at the Fear and Greed Index, we see that the overall markets is going up on extreme fear. We're getting out of being very volatile in this market with these tariffs. So as we see the market still in extreme fear, right now is a great time to take opportunity to begin investing, to keep practicing investing, to never turn up investing. Because as we push out of here and get into greed, you will also start seeing the benefits of the stock markets when you see this transition of people selling off and people are buying. So over the next 6 months, I beg you guys to start taking advantage of the dollar cost average. Okay, I mean, dollar cost average is what really gets us in a position to start building wealth, and really paying off debt is the first step. But dollar cost average is what takes us there even further. We see the 1 year ago that the market's in fear right now with a 34 out of 100. And the 1 month ago, the markets with extreme fear with a 25. And 1 week ago, the markets with extreme fear with 18 out of 100. And previous close, the market closed with a 21 out of 100. We're seeing these sectors, the market's overall still in the sell-off mode. That is a great time to still buy. It's about to be Friday. Put a percentage of the income to the dollar cost average. And like I said, guys, it only takes one of you to get out to the rat race. It only takes one thing, one long shot for you to get out of working that 9 to 5 check to check system. So let's get straight into the video, man. Hey, chat, y'all seen Bitcoin today? Let me know what y'all think about Bitcoin, chat. Chat, y'all see how volatile Bitcoin was? Hey, Bitcoin was at 84,000 yesterday, and now we seen it pull up to 93,000 today, almost touched 94,000. But right now, Bitcoin is very volatile in this zone of where we seeing Bitcoin finish off this cup and handle. Okay, so as we finish off this formation of Bitcoin and it's in buyer's mode, I'll be looking at anything related to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin stocks, buying Bitcoin. Number one, I wouldn't touch any crypto yet besides Bitcoin right now, and keep loading up on Bitcoin and Ethereum, because Bitcoin right here is the first one that's going to really move other cryptocurrencies and really start laying our foundation off, getting out of this sell-off in this extreme fear market. We seen Bitcoin is really trying to catch back up to gold, because gold been having a huge phenomenal week, months. Overall, gold is really taking off because people are running to gold as a hedge to inflation. But how are you gonna run to gold and not run into Bitcoin? So Bitcoin is one of them that you should have in portfolio to fight off inflation. And when we see inflation, we always want to think about the dollar. What are things outside of the dollar that's going to really keep assets safe and really balanced from economic uncertainty? So I like to see Bitcoin really pick up these next few months. And even if it doesn't, I'm still average dollar cost averaging. Okay, guys, so put at least 10% of your income minimum into dollar cost average on Bitcoin for the rest of the year. And let's take a look at that at the end of the year, where you're at. If you got that car savings saved up, if you got that emergency savings saved up, that's definitely going to pay a difference if you put that 10% a week aside to invest inside Bitcoin. We can't bring up dollar cost averaging and getting the mean of our purchases over time investing without bringing up Ethereum. Ethereum is at 1,749, and I told you guys anything below $2,000, $3,000 for Ethereum is a go ahead buy. So right now, you guys got a long time for you to keep building up your dollar cost average on Ethereum. But right now is even the best time to start, because this is the lowest we've seen Ethereum in the last 2 years. And Ethereum will not stay this low, anything below 2,000 for too long. So if we see anything below 2,000, every time we get paid, we want to put at least 10% of the income invested into Ethereum. Just because if you can get a nice little foundation started right now, you will see huge growth over time by the end of the year and the next 2 years, as Ethereum is one of those first really innovators in the blockchain network behind Bitcoin. We're seeing that Ethereum has done a lot of POS, proof of stake, with its proof in this blockchain network with proven transactions on the network, the blockchain network. So we've seen that Ethereum and the smart contracts is really starting to innovate, as well as Solana, when it comes to smart contracts and really using decentralized dApps for you to program transactions on blockchain network, as well as NFTs. This thing is going to be the new future, guys. We see Windows, we see IBM already partnered with Ethereum. So we already seeing institution and backup behind Ethereum, and we see that Ethereum is currently down 66% and $2,698 in the last 126 days. Well, if we continue loading up right now, guys, and it can be whatever we can right now, start off with $10 today, and then we can build up to $100 next month. But I tell you guys, I do not promote bad cryptos. I do not promote any sales of bad investments on this channel. So if we continue right now, y'all gotta have trust in God first, because He's the one that's gonna wake you up to starting this investment and keep you healthy. And then we're gonna continue investing and start seeing the benefits of this game. The earlier the better right now. And right now, I'm not gonna lie, it's been the most exciting now time to start investing as a 23-year-old, being in the market for the last 5 years since I was 18 years old. Right now, I'm seeing confidence of the youth getting into this right now so they can start something new and change for generations, because we haven't seen the best setup like this in a long time. I mean, when I was investing 5 years ago, it was real. Everything was high. Every stock price was really inflated. Everything was double what stuff was worth, triple stuff was worth. But then 2 years later, 2022, I seen stuff like that crash. The market and the economy crash. So we see these different cycles, and you want to take advantage of the cycles that you're in. So this is a call for you guys. The timing right now is for you. If you're watching this and you're staying tuned to these videos, the timing for you to invest is now. And I appreciate you guys for even getting started to things like this early, because not a lot of people even think about investing when it comes to the lifetime. Because why not think about later when it comes to resources or making your resources grow and multiplying them? We all like to live in the short term. We all like to get short-term satisfaction. So I always think about these two currencies as we finish off the year, and we're seeing some real good pump back out, because we're seeing these stocks and these cryptocurrencies really sold off, and I want to continue buying them for the rest of the year, no matter what price they are, even if they're already high, way higher than you previously bought them. Don't let that underestimate where your dollar cost average is, because that dollar cost average is not going to go moving way below where you bought it previously if you keep practicing buying. Solana is one of my third top cryptocurrencies you should invest in if you are investing in cryptocurrency. This cryptocurrency is down 65% as well. Like Ethereum is down $194. And this one you have an opportunity to times 2 what you put in by the end of the year. I definitely see Solana going past $300. The way Solana moves is like a train. So once that train takes off, there's no way to stop this cryptocurrency. I definitely see Solana innovating more with its decentralized apps and making transaction speeds faster over time. We're seeing more institutions partner with Solana, and Solana is currently price target for it. We want to continue dollar cost averaging. Anything below $250 will be a great time to dollar cost average in Solana. And even if you start now today, you'll get a great start for that dollar cost average between $149. And whenever we talk about dollar cost average is the number of times you buy at a certain price. So if I buy 5 times at a price of $100, that average price of my price, so I bought 100 at one time, I bought it at 102 the second time, I bought it at 103 the third time, I bought it at 104 the fourth time, I bought it at 105 the fifth time. So what you do is you calculate the average of those 5 times you bought, and then you divide it by 5 after you add them all together. So that will give you your average. And what this is so important is because this average is where you are inserted in this market. So anything above that average of where you bought, that's where your price in the market is going to be profited. If anything below that average is going down, that's just going to calculate your loss. So where you insert that in the market, number one is important because it's gonna tell you where your profit and loss, but as well, timing is gonna do its thing on this where your dollar cost average is. So don't even worry too much on where you enter the market. As long as you entered it, let God do the rest and let timing do the rest. And make sure you're taking care of yourself so you can be number one healthy as possible, so you can see the fruits of that dollar cost average is growing, and God putting trust in God that's gonna be where it needs to over time. MicroStrategy, the really founder of getting started, it's invested Bitcoin early. It's one of its early innovators as companies to start using Bitcoin as a balance sheet asset to hedge inflation starting in 2020. This stock is currently down 55% and down $298 in the last 139 days. And MSTR is one of my favorite stocks just because whenever Bitcoin isn't outperforming as expected compared to others cryptocurrencies, or it's just in a slump because of the economic state, MSTR continues just to buy Bitcoin. We want to follow the same step as MSTR because this company's net worth is just growing over time as Bitcoin starts to appreciate. And we know Bitcoin's track history. Whenever Bitcoin, every 5 years, we see Bitcoin in the new cycle and it starts to grow exponentially of its price. Now, if we keep investing in MSTR stock, we're basically investing into Bitcoin as a hedge as well, because the company has almost over 500,000 Bitcoin at the time of this video, and we continue loading up on this one with some long leaps. If we can put around $15,000 to $13,000 aside to invest for a long leap for this company, we can ride out to the rest of this company and the move towards the upside about $500 by the end of this year. Price target for MSTR is definitely going to hit past 500 this year, so we can get about at least $25,000 investment from only investing in about $12,000 to $13,000. And we can also just buy shares if we don't have that much invested right now or not willing to take on that risk. If we can get onto the shares, we can at least get 55% to 100% return off investment by investing into MSTR. But like I told you guys, the best time was to start early, and we seen MSTR around $234. So that was a great time to start loading up on those calls and then putting them leaps out so you can ride this rest of this move. But right now, it's still a good price for you to get in. We still have a whole bunch of upside to go back, because if we move this regression line down to where MSTR is currently down right now, it's only down 36% from its all-time high now at this current price. So you see how the benefits of getting into the stock early is whenever we see the stock down and hitting our support levels. This is the benefits, because now we're already up about 20% from where we seen the whole crash. And now it's only down $200 compared to where we seen MSTR these last few months. It was only down $300. So that's a huge difference, guys. That extra $100 that we could have rolled in to get. But if for some people who like to play investment safe, we like to get confirmation that MSTR is back in bull rally. So sometimes you wait for MSTR to hit key areas of resistance right here and break past it, so you can see that, okay, this stock is reversing from being sold off. This is my confirmation that I need to be buying now, and that's a good strategy as well. But as always, the early bird gets his worm. That $100 is a $10,000 leap difference that you could have caught early if you would have been investing in during the time of $240 and paying attention and locking into these videos. So that's just the fruit of getting into the stock early and starting that dollar cost average early. You already be up at least 20% off your investment right now if you were holding shares, and if it was an option, you will be up at least 100% off investment right now. But it's always a good time to start right now. If you're paying attention, we can look at the 5-year time frame. You're not too late, my brother, because right now, once we seen that candlestick on April 7, 2025 hit $238, we seen that huge bullish engulfing, guys. So we seen it close towards $300. And now the next week, we didn't see as much momentum, but it's still a green candlestick, okay? It was a little baby hammer candlestick. But now this week, guys, we're not letting go of these breaks. We hit $311 as a low, and now we quickly pull back up to $343. So we got more room. You see already MSTR overnight is already up $11. This is because Bitcoin is up. But for the week, I can see MSTR doing some crazy numbers, guys. So this one right here is really going to be your breadwinner if you are like a heavy growth investor and you like to see growth in portfolio. This is one of them for you to add. And we're seeing that these last 3 weeks is a phenomenal confirmation that we should be buying MSTR, okay? And this month overall is a confirmation too. Last month was that indecision candlestick for MSTR, okay? What we see right here is the stock pulling down in a correction. February 25th really set off that indecision, but last month confirmed this doji dragonfly looking candlestick right here. Well, it closed towards the middle, meaning stock went down and hit a low of 234 and also hit a high of $335, but price didn't stay down or up. It stayed right in the middle, meaning the next month from there we'll really decide on where the direction of the stock is going. So now we're in April 22nd, and we're already seeing that MSTR that already laid out its foundation. We hit a low this month of $241, but once we touched that price that day, price quickly rose and ended up closing higher. So now in the 22nd, we're seeing that price has already stayed up strong to 354. This is telling us that after the indecision in the market last month, markets right now are currently up with bull rally with MSTR, and buyers stepped into the stock at this price level just because this is a key area for the stock for it to push it back up. This is confirmation with these candlestick technical analysis with this indecision in this month is showing that confirmation to buy right now to the rest of the year, because we didn't got a reversal pattern with these two candlesticks alone. And that's just the benefit of knowing technical analysis. Every time you want to see this type of indecision candlestick right here, where you see the little thin line close right in the middle, I always think about the next candlesticks, the next 3 or next 2 candlesticks we see with confirmation to see where the stock is headed. We could have seen this stock right here in big red candlesticks go down, but right now we've seen this stock go down but end up closing towards the high. We got 7 more days for this candlestick to close, since we're on the five-year time frame, which is a candlestick that shows every week. So if we can see this candlestick close up like this towards the rest of the week, it's confirmation, guys, that we need to be in the stock and putting on some leaps. We already know we should be putting on some leaps, but this is technical analysis to give us more evidence and data. Coinbase is one of the biggest platforms for people to buy cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and we see Coinbase is down 58% and $203 the last 120 days. Well, this one right here is a guarantee for you to add to your portfolio, where you can see huge growth as well. So when we add up this one in our portfolio, you want to make sure to add some good leaps as well, because Coinbase has the potential to reach $400 this year and reach its all-time high, because we see Coinbase is getting more institutionalized and people are relying on a platform to buy cryptocurrency. The government is backing up this platform now, as it had so much slander back in the past and it was going through legal battles, and now it's getting past those legal battles. Coinbase is now really one of the most secure platforms for people to buy cryptocurrency, and as well they got ways that you can have secure assets by having multiple ways to secure your account and wallets. So as a cybersecurity dude, you gotta have confidentiality, you gotta have integrity, and you gotta have authentication of the person in order for you to get access to somebody's information. So Coinbase goes through all of these cybersecurity rules, so way you can protect people's assets, because a lot of people have a lot of capital inside cryptocurrency. Believe it or not, it's one of the most volatile ways that people can invest nowadays. Cryptocurrency is actually one of the most bought currencies now than really different assets. So now we got to protect that, and Coinbase is doing a phenomenal job doing that. We don't see as much data leaks or hacks on Coinbase, so we want to make sure Coinbase keeps that up, and they have to use different mechanisms to keep that up. So we look at the technicals on Coinbase this month alone. Coinbase is performing a hammer candlestick. A hammer candlestick is whenever price hits a low and then ends up closing at the high. And right now we got 7 more days for this week until this candlestick closes. But right now we're seeing that this is a hammer candlestick for the week, and as we continue loading up, actually we're on the monthly time frame right now, so we got 7 days and 20 hours for the month for this candlestick to close. And we can see that next month we can see some real bullish candlesticks. If we can hold on and buy right now, we can get past the double what we put in to past 354. But right now, if we pay attention to this hammer candlestick right now, we are seeing that Coinbase hit an all-time low of 140 and then end up closing towards 190 once this one closes in the next 7. If we look at past technicals on Coinbase, we're seeing that these 3 candlesticks confirm the reverse pattern on Coinbase, starting from August leading to September and then continuing to October, and then really November set it off. But past really doesn't determine the future technically, but we know that history does repeat itself sometimes and patterns do repeat itself. So this month we've seen this hammer candlestick, and these 3 candlesticks, if we see the next one go up towards the upside, we can see that nice little cup handle right here, reversal, with this one being August and this one right here being September. And then now we can see what May's looking like next month. So pay attention to next month and this month. Key on Coinbase for some good option leaps to continue riding out this $200 down deficit move right here. We can get a $20,000 investment with a leap option on this and really get some growth potential if we can get some stocks, shares onto this, and we can get at least 100% return off owning the stock. Now, I definitely keep loading up on Coinbase. It's one of my favorite stocks just because we got investors invested to this stock like Kathy Arts, and she continues to buy Coinbase in these dips that we see right here. Every time Coinbase dips like this, it dips like 50%. We see her pouring millions of dollars to invest into it. And you just want to pay attention to those people who invest like in those big firms and just copy them. Copy people that are already doing it, and then you can be in the same position as them too, So you got to mimic success, What we're doing right now, it may not be in a successful moment right now, but if we mimic people that are in that position, we'll be there as well. So that's how I feel like millionaires and money is all behavior wise. Like if we practice the behavior now and we start it early, we'll get on that track so we can get that financial peace. You guys want to pay attention to Marathon Digital as well. This is the all-time chart for Marathon Digital. Starting in 2020, we've seen Marathon Digital go from 44 cents and pump up all the way to 86 cents. A lot of people don't know about miner companies, but now these last few years, miners have caught up and really made a name for themselves as they the ones that mine Bitcoin, and they solve algorithms on the blockchain network so they can get credited in Bitcoin. And they also approve transactions on the blockchain network. So miners play a huge role inside the decentralized world. So as we now continue to lean on these miners, we can only mine so much Bitcoin until there's no more Bitcoin for us to mine. So we want to keep that in mind and actually invest into these miners and grab them all up, because these companies will be worth a lot once they're finished done mining Bitcoins and there's no more Bitcoin to mine. These digital assets that they grab from mining, they still have work to do, just because there's still going to be transactions that have to be approved, right? Where whenever Bitcoin is still getting bought and sold. So I continue looking at these companies as we got them really low, real low. I mean, we didn't get it down to like 44 cents though, but we got it down low from a past year. Since April 2023, we haven't seen it down between $9 to $15. So we've seen that it's staying in this range these last 2 years. And whenever we see stocks in the range, it's the best time to pick it up. And it's even better to pick it up once it broke below that range. And we've seen plenty of stocks like that in the past on this channel do that. But right now, as we see in this correction of this uptrend that it started in December 2022, whenever the market crash happened in the stocks, we want to continue buying the stock in that correction. So every time we see Marathon Digital dip right here in 2023, we've seen it dip right here in 2024. Well, this move is going to be the biggest move for miners. And if you guys are paying attention right now, mark my words, this company is going to skyrocket to $30 and really reach past $84 in the next 2 years whenever we see Bitcoin continue rallying past 100 to 150,000. And I like this stock because it's very low, and options for this leaps, you can get multiple of them starting off between $150 to $200 per contract. So if we can grab at least 10 of those contracts, we invest $2,000 of that. Now, once you have 10 contracts, you have really nice wiggle room to make some capital. So every dollar this company goes up, you got 20 contracts, then you can make at least $2,000 for every dollar goes up if you had 20 contracts. If you had 10 contracts, every dollar Marathon Digital goes up or down, you're down 1,000 or you're up 1,000. So that's how I like to think about it whenever it comes to options, is whenever you have more capital, you have more leverage with this because you have more position. Every time you have more position comes more risk and more reward. But whenever you're done right, you're paying attention to the technical. We're seeing that the month is down to $10 for this hammer candlestick to form, and we're almost closing in the next 7 days at $14. This is a bullish sign. DJT is one of the top stocks you should keep on your eye and your radar for the rest of the year, as we see the stock in this perfect correction. And this hammer candlestick, if it closes where it closes right now, towards 20 to above $24, then we want to continue loading up on this next month as we see DJT and Donald Trump's company start playing off due to these tariffs and the economy starting to benefit with Trump in office. I'll continue loading up around anything below $30, continuing to buy dollar cost average in this stock and put some long leaps on this one. This is one you want to be willing to take on just because it has this nice formation of what it did in September 2024, hit 1289 and pulled up to $55 during the election Trump was in. And now we got the stock back down to about $15 low this month, and it went up to $23. So once this stock takes off, the train doesn't stop, guys. I like this stock. It's very volatile once buyers are in it or there's some news that Trump is doing with his company. And he said he's never going to sell his position in this company, so we still have momentum in this stock during his presidency. And I like the fundamentals with this one. We're looking at the monthly time frame. We're seeing a lot of stocks finish off this hammer candlestick for the month, and that's just a good sign for the overall stock market and economy, where we can see the markets really turn around from a huge sell-off earlier this month. And now I like to continue seeing what kind of candlestick we form next month. So this is how I look at analyze stocks, and we can get a good time entry where we buy and what these dollar cost average. GameStop is one of my top favorite stocks as well. We've seen GameStop pull down to the low about $20.71 and hit our support level, and it quickly bounced off of that level. And we've seen the stock been up above that level since. So what this support level means is if price breaks below our support level, that's showing that there's less buyers in that area and the buyers are losing strength. But once we see that the price bounces off our support level, meaning it stays above our resistance or our support level line, that means that buyers having strength, and that means that people are really buying this company, and the demand for the stock around that $20 range is very, very volatile. So as we continue watching GME, I'm showing very bullish. Please don't sleep on GameStop, guys. Even though the stock is very undervalued, people short this stock and bet the stock being bankrupt. I would not have bet against this stock right here. And the only thing I'll bet is going towards the upside, just because this right here is confirmation. This month really closes off like how it's going right now. I'm going to see some very good months towards May and towards the summertime for GameStop. We're seeing everything is showing that GameStop's in the uptrend. Overall, the company's up like $18,000, 18,000%. And now, if we could continue getting loading up some shares with GameStop at dollar cost average and putting some long leaps on GameStop, we can get at least a 500% return off investment with a leap and double our return off investment, or even quadruple. It's one of those meme stocks that really give you a long, good multiplier of your dollar cost average. So you could times 4 your dollar cost average if you start off now. But always keep an eye on GameStop for the rest of the year, and this is going to have the same effect like it did last year. We've seen that move from $10 to $62 with GameStop. Now we're seeing GameStop involved with cryptocurrency this year, and they announced the news that they bought Bitcoin with that $4.89 billion they had aside with cash they made off this one move last year, that move investment with Ryan Cohen. And a CEO is just a great way that he knows how to handle business and really financial analysis. Like, he's a good trader, and this right here is just a confirmation he can make the same move again off his Bitcoin investments.
As we take a look at Reddit, we see here, because this is where all the on Reddit and all the they're very much fluctuating on Reddit.
Hey, Reddit been through it, okay, guys? We're seeing Reddit had tons of history in the past of it having a lot of news and slander, but now we're on the New York Stock Exchange with Reddit, and it's currently at $101. And we seen it pour down to about $79 this month. And they're really trying to finish off this hammer candlestick as well with the rest of the stock market, with it being down 64% at $145 the last 57 days. This is a great one to buy, as it's one of the most volatile stocks in the stock market. And we can opportunity to double what we put in and get a nice leap off Reddit if we can buy in and get a good strike price for $100. Tesla reported earnings yesterday, and Tesla is sitting nice at this nice little triple bottom right here. We've seen it touch support level around 3 times at this 222 level, and every time price touch this level, we've seen it bounce off. And we can continue dollar cost averaging into Tesla, or even putting some long leaps on it, as it's down 55%, $270 the last 83 days. I continue loading up on Tesla. They reported earnings yesterday, and it was pretty bad. They missed earnings 34%, and it missed Wall Street's expectations, but still a great stock to buy for the rest of the summer and the rest of the year, as we won't see this stock down this low right now until the rest of 2025. I like how the stock has been in this correction for at least almost 2 or 3 months now, so you gotta take advantage of it. ARM is one of those stocks that's gonna be going up consistently over the rest of the year, especially during the summertime. We've seen ARM hit this nice little breakout right here, and then we've seen a false breakout hit all the way down to $79. And you've seen every time this stock hits around this range, it always bounces up and recovers. But we've seen it break below this area of supply and demand over here, and we got it down to break our support level. Now we continue buying this stock, and dollar cost averaging, you can get at least 100% return as we push back to $200 as it was in January 2025, and we can make a new all-time high for this semiconductor stock. AMD is one of those stocks that have in the bag with the dollar cost average and long leaps, with about $1,500 to $3,000 set aside to invest in this company right now to the rest of the year. As we push back to $200, it's down 63%, and it's down $142. So this one's been very beat up the last 392 days, and the more this stock is this underperform is giving you more time to practice dollar cost averaging, putting at least 10% of income into this company aside and letting it grow and let it do its thing, because right now is just perfect time for this company. Every time we see this stock in a correction, it's bound to rebound, like we seen in 2022. We seen it in 2023, and 2025 is a bigger correction, probably one of the biggest dips we've seen for this stock all time. And now we got to add this one to the watch list and continue looking at the outperform for this stock. It's going to be a price target for about $150. The earnings has been pretty consistent. They're pretty good on earnings. They don't miss. They either break even or they surprise Wall Street. So this is a great company. Bitcoin had a phenomenal day today. We've seen it up at least $1,000. It went up all the way to 94,500. And then we've seen it retest a little bit to almost close near the middle. But right now, Bitcoin's in a bull rally now. Since the last few weeks, we've seen Bitcoin fall down to a low of 74,000. And you want to keep loading up on Bitcoin just because this is what you need to be investing in right now to the rest of the year for you to hedge inflation. Bitcoin was made for investors to beat inflation and put money aside. So the way that the dollar gets printed every time, that's going to depreciate the dollar bill. But Bitcoin doesn't depreciate. It appreciates over time. It's one of those assets that can help you start building generational wealth if you can start practicing dollar cost averaging and putting that money aside so you can invest into the blockchain. And this is going to be limited on supply in the future. And I can see Bitcoin hitting the $1 million in the future. So start today, start practicing dollar cost averaging, as it's still good to buy. Don't look at the price of Bitcoin. Look at the overall purpose of Bitcoin. For you to send peer-to-peer transactions on the blockchain network, which is way faster than 3 business days of you using your JP Morgan Chase bank account. So think about long-term and the beneficiaries of using blockchain and cryptocurrencies rather than what the price is. Stop worried about trading certain price levels of Bitcoin or buying at certain prices, and just get inside the company or the cryptocurrency. Broadcom is one of the OGs of the technology sector with its semiconductors and networking devices. So Broadcom is one of those that had a stock split in 2024, and it went to $1,000. And now we got a stock split. Now the stock is worth $176 currently. And if we keep dollar cost averaging with Broadcom, we get a chance to really get at least a 40% return on investment as we push back to $250 that it hit all time earlier this year. And we continue buying this one as we see that this is one that's always going to hit on its earnings reports. We know that the demand for these semiconductors, Broadcom, is one of the best wireless networks to have, and a lot of the companies use them. All these Fortune 5 companies depend on Broadcom, and I like how the stock is very volatile. Today it's already up about $7. So if you can get multiple contracts of this, you would have had about $700 per contract. This all buying this company alone. Qualcomm is one of the best stocks that you can invest in with dividends investments. Qualcomm is a mobile device company that has semiconductors for these iOS chip devices. So now we can get these stock invested in with the dollar cost average. We can continue practicing and getting dividend investments over time, and also profiting from the stock going up over time. It's in the perfect buy zone, as I seen it hit this false breakout earlier in April and hit $121. And after we hit that level, price quickly bounced back. Now we're finishing off this cup and handle. Now we can start seeing some real bullish engulfing towards the rest of the year with Qualcomm, as it's in this correction in the last 293 days, and it's down 48% and $110. It's a great stock for you to have in your portfolio, and it's very volatile. You can get price movement off of leaps. You can get at least a $11,000 investment off this one right here. Let's not forget about Nvidia. Nvidia fell down 43% last week, and now we got it down almost to about 38% down still. So it's still a good stock for you to practice dollar cost averaging. Don't want to abandon this one long term. You're always going to be benefiting you in, or even $100 starting out the dollar cost averaging. This company will set you off on a great path for success on building your generational portfolio. I mean, this stock right here, price target for this one, the end of the year, is $150. But if we look at the next 5-10 years, I can see Nvidia going back to $1,000 again, after they already did this stock split and did it already. So the stock is one of those graphic cards that's inside these drones, inside these games, inside these cards. So now we got to continue buying this company just because the demand of AI and how this company innovates to expand AI and study the innovation of machine learning. So this is a great company to add long term. It never misses on its earnings reports, and you want to take advantage of its down right now, because this stock is not going to stay like this too long. Boeing's have been real good lately. I mean, Boeing's been having trouble as a company overall the last few years. It has been struggling as a company, but now we're starting to see the company turn around. I mean, we've seen it hit down to about $130 last week, and we've seen it pull back up now. $40 is up back to $172. It's up $9.75 today, 6%. And overall, I can see Boeing hitting about $250 in the next 2 years. This is a good one to have in the long term. We know that airplanes and flying is never going to go anywhere, and this one company has one of the best ways to innovate is aerospace and defense. So it's a good technology company to have in your portfolio. I do see this stock company turning around. It had some bad news, like some trouble with its airplanes, but the company will rebound. And that's going to cap it off for today's video. Make sure you guys comment, like, subscribe. Go to Sofa Academics to cop latest merge Bitcoin to the moon, and use free budget tools and cop latest book on how to start investing. Now, everything that we talked about in this video, I hope you start practicing it, especially with the dollar cost averaging. starting off into one. Maybe you just start off with something that can help you hedge inflation like Bitcoin or Ethereum, and really start using something that can really help you fight off the inflation of the US dollar, because the US dollar, as we see, is getting printed as we sleep and as we wake up. We go to work and we switch our time for money. We need our money working hard as we work in our 9 to 5 jobs, because we put our blood, sweat, and tears into our jobs, and we can just get laid out tomorrow. And that's why we practice dollar cost averaging. We practice budgeting over here at SoFo Academics. We practice ways to lay out our finances and putting them into long-term portfolios so we can continue leaning back on them whenever we need them, and we can pull away from them. And that's why we always do research on blockchain and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. That way we can make sure that we have a quick way to process these payments whenever we can access our funds. Because the thing about the dollar is, compared to blockchain and cryptocurrency, is that people have a delay of accessing their funds, or they are more restricted with their money whenever it's just with the dollar, when money is inside the banks, compared to when money on the blockchain network. It's like more your own money, and you can access anytime, then and there. Peer-to-peer network, meaning there's address from where the receiver is and the sender, and it's gonna get approved on the blockchain network using miners, and that way there's no person in the middle that can make it delayed, or a person controlling the dollar. So it's always good to do your research on other assets besides the US dollar, because the US dollar is more controlled by governance, and we see even them leaning towards the P2P network as they see efficiency and the speed of it more effective than just using the old banking system. We seen back in the past, in the 2008 crisis, how the markets can really fail us and the economy can really go on a turmoil and rebound not the way that we want to. We seen the banks go heavily invested in 2008, and it made the economy crash, and now people have no access to their funds. Banks was using their money to invest into bonds and yields, and we see that the market ended up crashing, and people were protesting this because they can't access their money no more. Banks lost their money. If your money is in the bank account, you no longer have control over your rights, your freedom, and your financial status. Whenever your money's sitting in the banks, they're using your money to invest in the same markets that we talk about today in this video, so they can make hundreds of millions of dollars in investment today, and now you're only going to get 1% of that, or you're not even 1%. You probably will get 5 cent return by sitting your money in the bank, or not even no return. You don't even notice that your money is even growing in the bank account. 9 times out of 10, it's just staying still, or if it's in a CD, they'll give you probably about 5% of your investment, compared to you investing into S&P 500. Even minimum, you can grow your capital about at least 20% a year. We've seen the returns of the S&P 500. Even Bitcoin is one of the best investments for you to buy and hedge inflation. We see Bitcoin up all time. It's probably up more than like 10,000%. So we just gotta do our research and take advantage of these assets that we have right now. And while we have opportunity and resources, right now is the best time economically for you to get out of the economic situation you're in. Whether you're in poverty, or rather you're in the middle class, or rather you have nothing. Right now is no better time for you to start your economic financial freedom in 2025 than there ever has in history. There's more dollars being printed right now than ever, so that means there's more opportunity for you to go out there and get you some money. Make sure you guys comment, like, subscribe, man. I'll see you guys in the next one. We out.
I stole my love and make it countless. I've been in the flu, but I never drowned it. Life is tough on a simple bounty. Faith in the Lord, I never move a mountain. As I sow, I shall reap. There's an outcome to our deeds. So I practice what I preach. Yeah, I'm covered in the spirit. From my head to my feet. What I want is not a need. She keep begging me to stay. Something's telling me to leave. I stole my love and make it countless. I've been in the flood, but I never drowned it. Life is tough on a simple bounty. Faith in the Lord, I never move a mountain.